Hello and welcome to week one. So each week you'll see that there is an intro video at the top of the module. So this is the first one. I try and keep them to about 5 or 6 minutes. This one is going to be a bit longer because it's our first one and you guys are just getting into the course and just getting comfortable. So I'm going to take a little bit more time just to kind of show you how the course is organized. So here we are on the home page of VETS 121. You have a couple different ways to access information. So you have this little widget down here. So as different modules become available, you'll see that you can just click on them down there. Your other option, which I prefer, is just to go into the content of the course and access it there, which we will do in just a minute. Okay. The other thing I want to point out on this page, or a couple things, are announcements. So at this point, I have not sent out any announcements. An announcement's going to go out tomorrow morning, Wednesday, first thing. But once I start sending out announcements, you will find them here. And they will always be there throughout the entire semester, so you can go back and easily reference them. Do make sure that you have access to your SUNY Delhi email. And that you're checking it on a regular basis. So anytime I send out an announcement, I have any kind of important information, whether I've made a change to the schedule, I've graded items. If I get a lot of questions about something from students, I will generally share the answer through announcements if I get a lot of them, because chances are if it's not clear to a handful of students, it's not going to be clear to other students as well. So it's very important that you're checking these, that you're able to access your email, and you understand the importance of that. So any instructor, this is going to be a very important part of communication in the course. Okay, the other thing that's here is a calendar. So the calendar will kind of have a list of different upcoming due dates. So you'll see that your first quiz is going to be opening on July 8th. Module 1 is opening, quiz number 2 is opening, all of those things. So it kind of gives you an idea of what you have upcoming. With that, I will say don't entirely rely on this to navigate the course. What you want to do is go into the content and then actually be accessing the modules and looking over what it is that you have due week to week. So for this, we have 6 weeks during the summer session, and it's broken down into like week 1, module 1, module 2, module 3. So each week there's 2 to 3 modules for you to complete. So I've kind of broken up the information so it's hopefully easier to kind of do it in chunks rather than having it all together. So kind of be in the habit of looking this over. So you can see at the top of each module, what I do is kind of lay out what discussions are due and then what assignments and quizzes are due. So discussions are always going to be due on Thursdays, and that's intentional to get students in, looking at the material, interacting with your peers, and also an opportunity for you to message me before the weekend comes so I can be helpful, answer questions and things, and get you situated so that you can complete the work that you need to do. So discussions are always due by the end of Thursday, and then assignments and quizzes are always due by the end of Sunday. Okay? Modules will open up on Saturday, which gives students a kind of couple extra days to get in and do discussions and whatever else so that you can work it around your schedules. I know a lot of you work, you might have families, kids, things like that. So it just kind of gives you a couple extra days to get in there. Some of you might be people that like to do things as soon as they can or kind of get ahead, so that gives you the opportunity. Okay, so you should have a little prompt like this, so it kind of gives you, even if you just come in here and look, you get a feel for what it is that you have, that you're responsible for that week. Okay, so now that we're in the content, over here on the left hand side you have the table of contents. So these first few items you're going to want to kind of look over as you're getting started. So VETS student resources, study tools and resources specifically for this class. You're going to go into Welcome Start here. This will give you some good intro information about the course. You'll find some information about myself, a welcome video for myself, and then some information just about getting started in this course and taking an online course. Okay, the course syllabus, do look this information over. During week 1, module 1, you have a quiz based on this information. Okay, so course syllabus in its entirety is located there as a PDF. And then to make things a little bit easier, it's all broken down into different sections so that you can more easily access that information. So things like course description and learning objectives, grading criteria, and more. So course materials and technology requirements. There are 2 textbooks required for this course. So the first one is Clinical Veterinary Language, or COVIL, and then the second one is McKernan's Clinical Textbook for Veterinary Technicians. So each week, we have 6 weeks together. Each week we will be using one or the other. We'll be starting with this textbook, Clinical Textbook for Veterinary Technicians, or you'll often hear me refer to it as McKernan's. So we will be starting in week 1 with this textbook, okay? So if you have not acquired textbooks yet, you're going to want to do that right away. You can order them through the bookstore, and or you can order them wherever you like to order books. If that's Amazon, something else, that's perfectly fine. You can rent them. You can purchase them outright. You can get ebooks. Those are great, especially if you're worried about getting them on time and you haven't ordered them yet. Ebooks are really great because you have pretty much instant access to the text that you need. Okay, so do make sure that you get these textbooks soon if you haven't already. And with that, those textbooks are going to be used in other veterinary science courses too, so you won't just use them this one summer. You're going to use them in other courses as well. They're going to be utilized a lot. Okay, so look over that information. The next thing you'll find is a class schedule. So this is an outline kind of what to expect. So if you kind of want a big picture of what the next 6 weeks looks like and the different topics we are covering, due dates, all of that, you can kind of look that over. Okay, so you can see in week 1 we have 3 modules. Week 2 there are 2 modules, so on and so forth. Okay, you will find office hours for me here. So these are all going to be virtual through either Zoom or Teams. And I hold office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12 by appointment only. If you need to meet with me outside of those hours, that is perfectly fine. Just email me a couple times and we'll figure out a time that works for both of us. Okay? Help and resources, check that out when you have time. And then really the first graded item that you're going to do, that's a pretty low stakes item, should be easy, hopefully kind of fun, is you're going to do an icebreaker. So if you're not familiar with doing online discussion posts, then this kind of gives you an opportunity to get in there. We have a lot of discussion posts in this class. They're a big part of the class. So you'll find that there'll be a prompt. So this one is simply introducing yourself. There's some different suggestions there, but it's really whatever you would like to share with the class. Please go ahead and do share, and then take the time to respond to a couple of your peers. If you want to share pictures, I absolutely love it when students share pictures. So whether that's a picture of yourself with your pets, just the pets, share as much as you're comfortable with, okay? So that's kind of the first item that you will complete for a grade. There's this class community ask a question. So I have a discussion forum open, ask the instructor. This will be moderated between the first day of class, July 13th, Monday through Friday until 5 o'clock on that Friday. So if you have questions, if things aren't clear, post them here. Everyone in the class can see them. I will check this at least a couple times a day and answer questions. Chances are, if one person has a question or something isn't clear, somebody else has the same question as well, and maybe they're just not comfortable asking. So that's what that is there for. The student lounge is more of a space for you to connect and talk with your classmates. And so this is not, I will not be looking at this on a regular basis. This is kind of for you to use if you if you choose. Okay? So module 1 in week 1, this is all very low stakes stuff. So we just went over the initial icebreaker. That is a graded item. The other thing is up at the top here, I will always have like a little prompt to let you know kind of what you're looking at for the week. So we have in module 1, week 1, we have a discussion, the icebreaker we just went over, and we have discussion 2 as well, and there's an assignment and a quiz due. Okay, so discussion, there is a link up here to the occupational outlook for veterinary technicians, and then you will see a prompt here for what it is that I'm actually asking you to do. So you're going to follow that link. You're going to kind of pull some takeaways. There's prompts there. You do not have to, you can answer these questions, that's great, but you can go beyond that and just kind of share what you got out of it or interesting information. There's also a short video on this webpage link, so check that out as well. And then for discussions, kind of the general expectations are that you will post your thread by the end of Thursday night, and then you will respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday night. Okay, the next thing here is starfish success. You'll just kind of look that over. Assignment number 1, again, very low stakes, so you're going to submit a Word or Google document. There's a prompt here, and it's basically, your name, type of animal hospital or facility you hope to work at. So really this is just to make sure that you're comfortable creating a Word or Google document, saving it, and uploading it or submitting it in a submission box in Brightspace. So it should be pretty easy, but if you have any questions, this is why I put this here for, so you can ask questions, kind of get squared away now before things are really in full swing with this course and kind of moving forward. Okay? And then this first quiz here that I mentioned, so again, you're going to want to really look over the information in the syllabus that is posted. That's where all these answers will come from. This first quiz here, usually quizzes you have 1 attempt. This quiz you have unlimited, so it's just to make sure that you get the information. I'm not trying to trick you or anything else. It's to get you kind of poking around in the class and finding information and getting comfortable and situated. Okay? So that is that. So right now, so the course has opened up early for you. So everything, intro information in week 1, module 1 has opened on Wednesday, July 8th. The rest of module 2 and 3 for week 1 will open on Monday. Okay, and I will start looking at that question board, discussion board as well, and answering questions. So I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.